This is a very special story
because it's the story of our community,
of you and me.
Our church started a long time ago.
Around in the 1890s, without cars or airplanes, without telephones or computers.
At that time, people walked or rode a horse everywhere. People had to go far, they would have to take a steam-powered train or a steamboat.
During that time, a lot of new people were moving to Tacoma looking for work.
They cut lumber, worked in the sawmill, or in the port.
But one of those people was different.
His name was Pastor Kirkpatrick,
and he came to Tacoma to start a church.
Pastor Kirkpatrick, his wife, and his little daughter made a long journey from Pennsylvania to Tacoma.
And when he came, he knocked from door to door, asking people, "Can you join my church?"
As he went around inviting people, some people said no. Others laughed at him and said, "This is impossible. You can never start that kind of church in Tacoma."
Soon a small group gathered for worship. They didn't have a building, so they had worship at the YMCA. This is how a congregation was born.
The last hard months, there was not many people. But after a little while, more people started to come, and the congregation was starting to growing.
Then the congregation got big enough so they wanted to build their own church.
A lot of people donated their money that they could have spent on food, clothing, running water, maybe some shelter if they rent, all of that kind of stuff. After a little time of raising money, they bought the little piece of land that we are on right now. But at first, it wasn't just this building that we are in. It was just a small chapel.
The church had prayer, meetings, and picnics. They had Sunday school, a youth group, and there was 100 members at that time. The church decided to help people who couldn't speak English who were moving to Tacoma. They started evening classes for Italian immigrants. Soon, there was too many people to fit in the building. So they started to make a new church here, and people who came to this church donated it, and all these stores on 6th Avenue donated money too, and soon this church was built.
They had regular church services and Sunday schools, but they also had neighborhood events, like they had movies in the sanctuary and potlucks in the basement.
Since then, it's been almost 100 years.
They've had good times and they've had bad times.
When the neighborhood changed, a lot of people moved away.
And so at some point, there were only a few people coming to church on Sundays.
The congregation got smaller and smaller and smaller until there were only about 20 people.
Some people said, "This is impossible. Can't keep going like this." You should just close the doors.
You can't run a church with just this many people.
But instead, here's what happened.
People like Hazel and Edith and Irene,
They wanted to do the opposite. They wanted to open the doors wider so all the people of the neighborhood could come in. They noticed
was that that some kids needed help reading, so they invited a tutoring program for reading.
Several other amazing ministries followed.
A person named Pat started a clothing bank for people who don't have enough money for clothes.
Because a bunch of people in the neighborhood weren't be able to buy food. A man named Tony started a soup kitchen for them. They started a health clinic for kids and parents who couldn't afford to go to the doctors, and a after-school program for teenagers.
And as the church opened their doors to the neighborhood, an amazing thing happened.
Amazing thing happened.
An amazing thing happened.
The little church started to grow.
More and more people in Tacoma heard about this little church and that opened its doors, and so they joined.
Chances are that's how you became part of this church.
So this is our church's story.
It started with a man who believed that he could start a church even though other people didn't.
Hazel, Edith, Irene, Pat, and Tony, and the others who believed that this congregation should keep its doors open. To all of us sitting in this room together today.
That are looking into the future and seeing how they can open the doors even more.
To be better than it was than ever.
That there are lots of more people and maybe more kids.
And we'll have more things, like not just tap, clothing, soup kitchen, and medical care. We'll have like other fun things and other things like maybe sports added, like football, soccer, baseball, like hockey.
We could pray to God a little more times.
I hope our congregation stays big and gets more people.
That Trinity gets rebuilt because it has a lot of water damage.
Maybe like replace the walls because I see some cracks in the walls and all of that stuff.
I think the building should be rebuilt to a more livable space since it's kind of falling apart.
And then, I mean, we could have like skateboarding lessons or something like that. We're gonna have a better gym.
Probably it'll be a bit of this, then it'll probably be a big dome here, then another dome here, then they will do new chairs and stuff.
A church that is better built and it's big.
We might be able to add stuff to Tacoma. I don't know, some other churches that maybe don't have as much as we have.
We can go to church more often.
Staying together and just being a good church.
To open the church more to the neighborhood instead of closing its doors.
And that it will be here for a very, very long time.